So first of all, thank you, Stephen, for having us here. This is pretty new for us as Netwrix, and I wanted to prepare myself a little bit. I read a little bit about your blogs, and I thought the first impression what I had is auditing and reporting is boring. And I hope we can change that a little bit, and it would be great for us if we get some feedback also from you folks. And first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Arno Thelberg. I'm responsible for enterprise business within Netwrix. I have with me Ilya Sotnikov, who's responsible for all the product management stuff, and he's the one who answers the questions. And then we have Jeff Melnick here on the side. Jeff is the manager of our sales engineering team, and we try to entertain you a little bit with auditing stuff. So first of all, who's Netwrix? It's a little bit blurry. So Netwrix is a California-based company hosted in Irvine, and you can see barely, let's go further, that we spread out like a lot of US companies through EMEA and then go through Asia Pac. So we have offices in these areas, including Australia, but the majority of the business is actually focused in North America, and European area is picking up. I noticed that we have a little majority here of Europeans in the room, and my accent probably is hard to hide. So I came over here from Germany in about 2009, and I joined Netwrix 2015 after 2 steps with other vendors. So Netwrix from the past, founders Michael Feynman, Alex Fogg, both ex-Quest. I think that sounds familiar. Veeam comes out of the same area, and other companies as well. And no funding. We are cash positive from the beginning, so we grow out of our own profit. That's another
sacrilegious.
Pardon?
That's sacrilegious.
It's a decision of the owners. It gives you a lot of freedom in what you do.
It's like Veeam.
I started when I came to the US with another company which was in the same way, owned by 100% one person. We had a lot of success. We had the freedom to develop something interesting. The company was acquired by a large organization in 2012, venture capital driven. And I left after 2 years, and the product is in a way where I think it was not that before. We don't have to mention it right now, it's past. So Netwrix at the moment is the focus. We grew up with this traditional way, up to 200 people. And I think that's, I would say it's a kind of impressive way. And we were mentioned several years as the fastest growing company by Inc. and Deloitte. So just stating the fact a little bit, because I also read in some of the blogs that you never, let's say, touched Netwrix in the past. And I guess it's, as I said, it's boring. But we want to change that. So how do we got here? Netwrix started with tools and utilities for sysadmins. So sysadmins actually know Netwrix because they find a lot of useful software which they can download and just use for free. And just a little riddle and make it interesting. At what time was that point in our timeline? It was the iPhone, which was launched at the same year. Someone knows? First iPhone. I still have one.
You?
Yeah.
Oh wait, isn't that right?
2007. Was close. Was close. I think I made a mistake right now, but Steve, I apologize. I should have chosen the Red Sox. I don't know if they won something, but the Saints. Occasionally won. The Saints in that year won the Super Bowl when we started to focus on auditing. And I think someone here should give me the right number. Which year that was? It was in Miami. It was an amazing setup in 2010. And I could not stop doing this. Germany won the world championship in soccer.
1928.
You must be from the Netherlands.
Anything more.
Yeah, I think in 2010 you just lost with 1 goal. I remember that.
Yeah.
So that was 2014. But I think you knew it. And 2016, we went to hybrid and we announced an open RESTful API. And I think maybe that was what brought us here, because that's the part which starts to be sexy. And so this is basically the draft overview of what Netwrix is today and where we come from. A few technology partners, VMware, EMC, and NetApp. So there's nothing crazy on this slide, just want to mention it. The important part is actually the customers. With all the technology we develop, if no one wants it, it's useless. So Netwrix has about 7,000 plus customers. I heard another number, 8,000, so it's a little bit blurry, but it's 7,000 plus. And that's an impressive number. It's a mix, and you will see it now, between SMB and midsize. That's the focus where Netwrix grew up and where Netwrix is strong. I mentioned earlier that I'm on board since the beginning of 2015 and in charge of what we call enterprise business. My history is from the past dealing with larger accounts, so JP Morgan Chase and downwards. And we're coming from small, medium, and we want to step up. We scale. I have a little bit of technical background, so if you have questions regarding how we do it and everything, we have the people here. But before I moved to sales, I had a real job in consulting. And I still remember it a little bit. So we started in 2015 to focus on service providers as one part of the expansion. And we started to go with enterprise accounts. Enterprise accounts, in our definition at the moment, is 7,500 employees and larger. So there's a gap in between, which we just try to structure and fit as well. But my focus is larger accounts, which ends at the moment, I would say, at 200,000 users. So in that scale, I try to position us. And we have some unique differentiators to the competition. First of all, most of the applications we have is agentless. We will see later on how we collect the data. And that's something which is in large environments at the moment really, really interesting, because you don't have the intrusion on the DCs and on the servers. You don't have the deployment problems with updates worldwide. And there's a few other differentiators. The second part is we have a 2-tier storage model, which I think Ilya will mention a little bit more. But those are the main differentiators at the moment. Top industries: finance, healthcare, government. I have another slide, or I have more information if you want to have, let's say, particular focus and names. I would take that offline outside the broadcast, but we can discuss use cases and stuff like that with names. I'm happy also to get feedback. But as I mentioned, we are in that space, and we at the moment pass 35,000, 50,000 user accounts and close those accounts. So what's the Netwrix Auditor platform? It's Active Directory first. Active Directory is the majority of the sales and the majority of the use cases. And I would say the next one, this is not really in an order. The next one is Exchange, just because of the deployment worldwide. Office 365 is upcoming. It's just positioned because everyone talks about Office and online and cloud. And I find a lot of people moving to the cloud from a position where the existing environment is not really under control. That's something which is a very, very, let's say, complicated, very dangerous step, because the cloud brings challenges from an audit perspective as well as from a management perspective, which is totally different from on-premises installations. And so that's something where we try to focus and see that we put the two ways together. So we allow, with our solutions, that you have on-premises auditing, reporting capabilities and the cloud, and merge those data so that you don't have two different platforms to see the visibility over your whole system.
Are you seeing people who are hoping that their transition to the cloud will be how they get their stuff organized?
Yeah. It's the same like outsourcing. Outsourcing was only successful back in the days when it was a trend. And it started in the early days with companies who had full control over their data centers. Because you can only outsource what you know. You cannot have a chaos at home and then you give it someone and say, fix it for a price. They did insourcing later on. And that was even more expensive. So I think if you have on-prem under control, you can walk into the cloud. But the cloud is not the solution for problems in general. And what we do here in the Office 365 part, Ilya will show you some interesting stuff there. SharePoint on-prem, SharePoint in the cloud is upcoming. Microsoft SQL Server, so this is basically basic stuff. So we audit these systems. VMware is a little bit out of the Microsoft scope, but it's there. And I think we have something to offer in that space. Windows Server,
Is
AMC,
VMware only on-premise or also in the cloud?
On-premise.
So we're going to talk a bit about that.
Yeah. We can, if you have questions, and if we step out of the range of the broadcast, we can maybe take some stuff offline. But you have the right person here. And RESTful API at the end, that's the sexy part. We'll talk about that and show you some stuff which is interesting. Because with all the other vendors in this spot, where we are, you audit data, you report on it, and then there's another system who audits data and is good in that. There's not even one vendor out there who can, let's say, cover the whole range of your IT. There's Linux, Unix-specific vendors who are really, really cool in that area, Microsoft-specific. Other vendors, they focus on network devices and stuff like that. So what we did is, the idea was allowing the customers and also other vendors to consume our data, or that we are able to consume data. You will later see stuff like, use case might be something happened. There's an unusual, let's say, behavior somewhere, and you want to see what systems within a certain time frame report which kind of log information. So you don't want to go to different systems. You have CM systems who collect the log data, but you will see later on that the data we present is readable. That's the logic we add. That's our basically intellectual property. So our data is prepared instead of log data, which you basically have to, maybe you use Google to find what's the grid, and then go with the grid, and then go to the next log file. So I think the RESTful API thing, which is very interesting. And we have already partners. I could speak German here a little bit before the session started. So we have a partner in Austria who integrated data from us with SAP. With the RESTful API, they found the use case where it makes sense, and they market this. So that's the sexy part. And
so they use your software and put it out with other clients from them. They sell it to other clients.
They have a monitoring solution for SAP, and in their solution they miss information, or they saw a value to add information which we audit and report and use our RESTful API, and they have an API. So they consume our information into their dashboard.
It's actually the other way around, Arne.
Oh, the other way around?
So basically what those guys do, they have a monitoring solution for SAP, and they want to keep focusing on monitoring. So they want to be able to say, hey, something happened, and if you need to get more information, if you need to fix it, if you need to troubleshoot, go elsewhere. They don't want to keep all the data for long term. They don't want to work on reports. That's just not their thing. They are monitoring. So what they do, they feed the information, the activities from their monitoring solution into Netwrix, and then have basically a way to connect the two, so that they keep the monitoring side, and then if you need reports, if you need more context, if you need details about what was happening before that, what was happening overall in other systems, you can get all that from Netwrix.
And so how do they keep track on that in the monitoring side? So how will the customer know that something is going on and he needs to go into Netwrix to see what's happening over there?
So it's basically what they do within their tool, is they raise an alert, so there is something blinking and red and whatever, and then there is more information. So they have other integrations like this. So sometimes it is a link to a report, sometimes it is just an instruction, hey, you need to open an additional console, go there, do that. So that kind of is script or custom add-on on their side that is doing that.
So they're essentially acting as a sensor for your...
You can put it that way. Exactly. But we'll have a little bit of demo of some of the use cases with the API, so we'll be able to look at that from how you do that.
Okay.
So we want more questions at that point. Otherwise, we go a little bit more into product and design.
Well, is this why you're calling it a platform? Because with the RESTful API, you're hoping other partners and other people are going to then build solutions on top of your platform.
Yeah, the platform is, let's say, the integration. The platform is that we cover basic features for all the applications we support out of the platform, so you can snap in. And the RESTful API is the latest, basically, snap in.
So I think
later on we have more specific details, and you see the overview, what we cover, and how the design is, and what allows us to expand.
Okay, but the reason of calling it a platform and having the RESTful API is you want to encourage other people to build solutions on top of your platform. Okay.
I think, as I said, it makes sense to share the data. It's the customer's data, and we open it up and allow that he can add value with his data.